realized that if we don't come up with a proper way of planning and strategizing how our food security and food ecosystem works, one day we are going to be totally dependent on importing food, which we cannot afford, and that we're going to be raising a lot of sick children.
Assalamualaikum and greetings to Sir Ahmad Shahir. My name is Charima binti Rosli, and this video presentation was prepared for the subject AGR553 Economics of Agricultural Production. The current issue that I found interesting to discuss in this presentation is food insecurity in Malaysia. First and foremost, what is food insecurity? According to the United Nations Committee on World Food Security speaks to the availability of food in a country or geography and the ability of individuals within the geography to access, afford, and source adequate foodstuffs, while food insecurity is defined as the lack of access to the kinds and amounts of food. According to the United Nations, nearly 9% of the global population faces hunger, and an estimate 840 million will face food insecurity by the year 2030. In Asia, the prevalence of food insecurity increased by 3% to 26% in 2020. The pandemic highlights how vulnerable current food systems are, especially in emerging economies that rely on large-scale agriculture and international food trade.
Agricultural policies in Malaysia and our policy implementation have been lacking focus in terms of productivity, climate change adaptations, protections of our natural resources, innovation within the agricultural sector.
Extreme weather events have become more common, such as in 2014, floods resulted RM299 million losses due to damaged crops, natural resources, and infrastructure. In the country's primary cannery, recent air temperature has been reached as high as 40 Celsius during the dry season, leading to shortage water reservoirs for irrigation and poor conditions for growing rice. Extreme weather events are expected to reduce rice yield by up to 31%, sufficiently levels above the minimum national requirements for self-sufficiency of 65%. With climate change-induced disruptions to agriculture, workers in the industry face reduced income, further thrusting them into the poverty. The next one is low level of automation and technology adoption. Low agricultural productivity, outdated farming practices, and limited access to modern technologies can impede food production. Insufficient investment in the agricultural sector hampers its potential to contribute to food security. The adoption of modern agricultural technologies such as precision farming, mechanization, and automated irrigation systems is relatively low in Malaysia. Last but not least, dependence on food imports. Malaysia relies on import for a significant portion of its food supply, including staples like rice. The reliance on imports makes the country vulnerable to global price fluctuations and disruption in food supply chains, potentially impacting food availability and affordability. Between 2017 and 2021, Malaysian households spent RM33.1 billion annually on imports of food and beverage. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, we are highly dependent on imports of mutton, respectively from Australia, Thailand, India, and Indonesia. Malaysia needs to rethink the development of the agricultural sector to mitigate the impact of ever-rising food prices and cut down the increasing food import bills. In summary, food insecurity is closely tied to agronomic issues because agronomy addresses key factors related to the food production, crop productivity, climate change adaptation, sustainable resource management, and support for smallholder farmers. By employing agronomic approach, it is possible to enhance the agricultural productivity, increase the availability of nutritious food, and mitigate the risks associated with food security. That's all from me. Thank you for listening.